Hey guys, welcome back to the Crypto Picture channel where I help you see crypto through a clear lens. So over the past couple days, or especially the past day, we've seen a major sell-off in pretty much every asset. We are currently getting a nice bounce back with a lot of the altcoins and Bitcoin and Ethereum. I am slightly adding to some positions that I had a little bit of cash on the side for. I do see a little bit of a reason to be optimistic with this sell-off. It looks like it's been bought up fairly quickly. It doesn't rule out the possibility of us, revisiting $42,000 Bitcoin, but when we look over the broader market, we are seeing a lot of strong bounces and also strong buy signals with market Cipher. So Ethereum came back down, retested its breakout point from this ascending triangle that we had put in place. It did actually meet our target. I believe it just went over our target here at roughly 2018. The move projection for the target was roughly 1890 based on this ascending triangle. And how you'd get the measured move is just measuring the bottom of the triangle to the top of the triangle, and then you would put it at a breakout level, which is right about here or wherever, as long as it meets the criteria of this flat line of resistance. So we did meet it, and it is very typical for an asset to retest certain levels. After creating a new high, it'll come back down and retest the previous high turned to support. So it isn't uncommon, and that is why I also say that I wouldn't be totally surprised if Bitcoin revisited 42. I'd be happy if it didn't, but you always want to keep that in the back of your mind. So yeah, nothing crazy. No critical levels have been broken. I know there was a lot of people messaging me, saying like, hey, like, what's going on? Do you think, this is going to go lower? Should I sell some stuff? I would say, positions that you've recently got into and have not taken profits in, it's always safer bet to, just move it over to Bitcoin just to mitigate any risk. Because if Bitcoin were to drop down, and we'll go over to the Bitcoin chart, if Bitcoin were to break down to this level, it's not so far anymore, but it's still another 16-15%. We saw Bitcoin fall about 23%, and you saw what happened to the altcoins. So if Bitcoin fell another 15-16%, or possibly even 23%, then you're much better off holding your Bitcoin as opposed to holding altcoins. So I would say, yeah, definitely with positions you have not taken profits in and you are or have recently gotten into, it is much safer to just switch over to Bitcoin. So one thing that keeps me very optimistic about this rally, and I'll go into that in just 1 minute, but even for the 6 hour, we're trying to break back into this. If you see where my cursor is, the line here, we're breaking back into the bullish control zone. Doesn't mean that we will, but we got a nice 6 hour buy here that will be confirmed on the next candle, which is roughly 5.5 hours away. So we'll see what happens with that. A lot of these altcoins have already printed buy signals, so hopefully we can maintain these levels. And I think this was enough to flush out some of the over leveraged long positions that probably got into the market a little bit late, and just look for that extra liquidity to push back into the market. Also, I did show you guys this indicators. So this is all my indicators that I have. So I use a multitude of indicators. You know, I usually just use Market Cipher when I'm, you know, on screen or when I'm explaining things, because it is much simpler to look at it from this perspective. But if you can mix this with some of your other indicators and templates, it will show a lot of confluence, and confluence is always good in my opinion. So if we go over to the 2-year moving averages, and I'll just get rid of these lines just so it's a little bit more clear. Well, I can leave those, I guess. So I sent a video from Crypto Crew University. He's very good at TA, explains it quite simply, and he basically mentioned every time we've come back to this level, we have seen a rejection on the first few times or 2 times, and you know, he was expecting a 20 to 30% pullback. So I mean, he did a good call on that, and that's great. As you guys know, I'm more of like a holder, and I take profits on my alts when they make, you know, a decent chunk of money. So I'm not really worried about trading these little swings here, because for me, I know for a lot of people it seems like a lot, and it is a lot, but for me, I'm pretty adjusted to it now from a risk taking perspective, and yeah, to me it is small in the crypto world. So if I go back over here, so our market peak top was when we actually broke out of this red line, and we rallied pretty hard straight up, and this was, you know, pretty significant, 152%, 153% in about 32 days. So this mixed with my Market Cipher will allow us for a pretty optimal exit strategy. But as you can see, we came up here just shy of the moving average, the 2-year moving average. We had roughly about a 38% dip, came back up, retested it a second time. So maybe this is what we're going to do. I know history doesn't repeat, but it does tend to rhyme. So we'll see what happens. And then we got like a, you know, 38, 40% pullback based on Bitcoin's risk-adjusted returns and diminishing volatility. I would say that, you know, I would be comfortable with a 30%, and look what it did. It came back and retested the previous high. So would it be absurd to think that we're going to do something like this? No, I think this is very probable, and I like to keep an open mind to this. So as I said, I have entered some small positions, but I'm looking for further discounts if they are to present themselves. I do want to have some cash available on the side to take advantage of that. So if we look at that, that would be like, okay, so we get our 20% initial pullback. We get a nice push to the upside, maybe coming up to here, and the moving average will likely be around, you know, maybe 63,000 or so. So making a new higher high and then getting rejected from there, and then having a 30% pullback, and look at that, right at $42,000. You know, so it's possible, and you know, it's actually not a bad thing, because the longer it takes us to break over this red line, the longer the bull market will actually last for. So if we get another retest here that takes a couple of weeks to pan out, and then we get like a sell-off here that, you know, ultimately takes you know, another few weeks, and then we get our final big rally, which took about 31 days, so about another 4 weeks. Yeah, that would put us roughly in that ballpark that I said, around 4 to 6 months, so just shy of that. But yeah, I mean 3, 4, 5, 6 months, somewhere in that ballpark is what I'm looking for. And also Bitcoin could start to move a little bit slower, right? So if we look back here, how long did that take? From this peak to the correction, that was 37 days. and then until we came back up and retested it was 67 days, and then that was 128 days, right? So yeah, it's about 3 months, right? So yeah, just over 3 months. So yeah, this is all very possible, and just want to keep you guys up to date with that price action for Bitcoin. And why I was saying I'm still fairly optimistic, because when Bitcoin has a true correction and it's seen as ultimately pretty bearish throughout the space, we will see the Bitcoin dominance fall, and it's really struggling to get above this line here. We're seeing wicks to the upside. We're now seeing a sell signal on market Cipher on the 12-hour, so we'll have to see how that progresses. The daily still has a little bit of room to the upside, but all in all, yeah, I mean, we got a double top here, so I do suspect, again, I'm going to stick with my thesis that altcoins will continue to rally against Bitcoin or outperform Bitcoin while this is happening, and it is under this orange line that I've had drawn for for a very long time, going back to like September of 2019, and I followed this all throughout the altcoin bull market versus Bitcoin, even in the summer and stuff like that. And this was really the time where it was telling us to switch our altcoins into Bitcoin. And then this is when it was telling us to switch our Ethereum, when I let you guys know, hey, I think we should switch some of our Bitcoin or a lot of our holdings into the altcoins. So we are seeing a lot of buy signals here and stuff, but honestly, for this, as I said, market Cipher, the buy signals on the shorter time frames only work if you are in an uptrend on the macro level. This is a macro level downtrend. It's been going on now since the beginning of January, so I will ignore these until a higher time frame gets a buy signal, and on the weekly we are still headed down, so I do suspect that altcoins will continue to outperform Bitcoin. A lot of these altcoins are printing 6-hour buy signals, and if we look here, it will be confirmed in about 5.5 hours. So ADAs, ADA and DOT really didn't get the memo. I think they dropped, but they did a Bitcoin drop, 33%, but if you look now, they're only down 18% on the day. So compared to some other assets, these have just done phenomenal. If you look at DOT, I think it might even be down a little bit less than ADA. Yeah, or about the same actually, 18-19%. So yeah, they're doing fairly well. I also just mentioned API in my Telegram group. I am looking to add to this one here. We're starting to see some green momentum build up on the RSI here. We got the snake eyes down here, which is 2 go long signals. It is on a 6-hour, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't consider this as a macro downtrend. It only started middle of February, so it's been 10 days of a correction after a huge uptrend. So this is more of a correction in an uptrend as opposed to a downtrend. And then if we go to the 12-hour, we're also getting a go long signal that will be confirmed in about another 5.5 hours. So in 5.5 hours, we'll get a 12-hour buy signal, and the higher the time frame that these come in, the more accurate that is. I wanted to do an update on pools as well. I did mention that I was getting a little bit more of this one, and it had a pretty fair correction, but it's gone back above this support zone, which means a lot of buyers are stepping in here to get it back above this support line. So we'll see how it progresses. The buy volume isn't that impressive, but it is a smaller asset, so it's, you know, it's only like a $20 million coin or about that. So we do have, you know, 2.14 million of positive buy action. We got a huge sell volume here, which is, you know, this is like a capitulation candle. If we can come up in the next day back up to this candle and have a bullish engulfing candle, I'll continue to presume or project upside price action. If we come back and get rejected and continue lower, then I may think about taking a little bit of profits on my position, as I am still in profit. I believe I first started buying this at around $15. I re-added recently right around this line, 21, 22 bucks. So that's an update for pools. I'm still optimistic on it. We've seen what's happened with PokeStarter. It's gone for like a $20 million market cap to about 300 million, and now it has pulled back to I think around 250 million or so. So yeah, about a 10x out of PokeStarter. So, and this is relatively the same idea. So there's a good narrative going around with these types of coins. And oracles, which is API 3s and Oracle, like Chainlink. So I do believe there's a solid narrative for API 3, and a lot of smart people in the space are quite bullish on this. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for today. I wanted to show you guys MXC. From what I've seen, they're a fairly good exchange, but the nice thing is that they do put on a lot of these small cap coins. If you are interested, you can either go to CoinGecko and obviously right here, and you can get the link from there, or you can use a link that I'll provide down below. Okay, that's everything for today, guys, and as usual, you know, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is to be taken as financial advice. Simply giving my opinion on things and trying to educate whomever is wanting to watch these videos. The Telegram group is down below. Please use the link if you want to join. Like, subscribe, share. And I also have the market Cipher link down below as well. Okay, thank you.